brilliant people. We are Nigeria. And when we talk...
It's 7 o'clock. Nigeria military inflicts fatal blow on terrorists in Northeast. PDP presidential flag bearer Atiku Abubakar calls for unity ahead of 2023 elections. Global oil producers moved to outwit Russia over gas production. Basketball world governing body threatens sanctions against Nigeria. A warm welcome to the Citizen FM News at 7. I'm Lawrence Umoite. The military troops of Operation Hardin Dake, in conjunction with Civilian Joint Task Force in Gwaza local government area of Borno State, has cleared terrorist hideout. During the encounter, the terrorists fled due to superior firepower of own troops abandoning their properties and family members. The troops also conducted patrol along Old Marta Road in Marta local government area of Borno State, recovering a dump truck belonging to a Borno State Road Maintenance Agency that was stolen in February 2021 by the terrorists. Director of Defense Media Operations, Major General Bernard Onyeoku disclosed this during a bi-weekly press briefing on the operations of the armed forces of Nigeria, police and other security agencies. Major General Onyeoku disclosed that the security situation across the 6 geopolitical zones of the country remains dynamic. However, there has been sustained efforts to build on the success so far achieved in the various theaters.
Troops conduct robust, aggressive patrol ambushes and clearance operations at Wunno. Furthermore, on 31st May, troops repelled attacks at Farm Days, Arege, in Abadan local government area. During the attacks, troops responded with heavy gunfights and inflicted casualties on the terrorists. Cumulatively within this period in Operation Hadinkai, troops recovered 10 AK-47 rifles, 5 AK-56 rifles, 2 FN rifles, about 300 rounds of 7.62mm ammunition.
In a related development, Major General Onyeoku disclosed that troops on fighting patrol along Ashigaisiya, Kolede, and Akpalugbo local government in Goso local government area of Borno State encountered terrorist headers who engaged troops in a fierce gun battle. The terrorists fled due to troops' superior firepower, while troops recovered 40 ships during exploitation.
AK-47 rifles, KT gun, 1 anti-aircraft gun, and 164 rounds of anti-aircraft ammunition, 111 shulker ammunition too, 1 gun truck, 1 shulker barrel, 2 Dane guns, among other explosive items that were recovered from the terrorists. And troops also rescued 100 terrorist families, including 33 women, and the rest are males.
And for some political stories now, the All Progressives Congress has been called upon to urgently address the crisis rocking the Akwa Ibom State chapter of the party, or risk annulment of the outcome of its forthcoming presidential, governorship and legislative elections. Addressing newsmen in Abuja, former Minister of Petroleum Don Etiebet, on behalf of party faithfuls in Akwa Ibom State, said that the consequences of conducting primaries with an illegal delegate list other than the validly conducted primaries witnessed by the Independent National Electoral Commission may spell doom for the APC, as the entire election, which benefited from the process, will be null and void.
The consequences of such conduct of primaries remains clear that our party in Akwa Ibom State may not be in the position to present any validly nominated candidate in Akwa Ibom State, except the issues are redressed immediately. Thirdly, we hasten to warn that the Akwa Ibom State challenge of using delegates that were not voted for in line with the instant electoral laws, if not addressed, the same delegates may be used for the presidential primaries.
Chief Etiebet further cited an instance where a decision taken by the caretaker Extraordinary Convention Planning Committee of the party was unceremoniously withdrawn from the courts by the present APC leadership even when their actions in office were fully ratified by the National Convention. And from the APC to the PDP now, presidential flag bearer of the People's Democratic Party, Atiku Abubakar, says healing the wounds and reconciling aggrieved party members are top on his agenda as the party prepares for the general election. The former vice president, who was speaking in Abuja, called on party leaders to reach out to every member of the party to form a united front ahead of the election.
What just happened is a contest within a family to decide how to put our best foot forward. The main contest is the one to win the presidency of our country for our party. And it requires the entire PDP family and other supporters and sympathizers. We must pull everyone together. Nobody should be excluded, I beg of you.
His call came amidst calls for the resignation of the national chairman of the party, Iyo Chaju, by a group within the party. The group, identified as the Stakeholders Group, also demanded the resignation of Samuel Anyanwu, PDP's national secretary, and Omar Baturi, the party's national organizing secretary.
Section 7, subsection 3 has stated it clearly. The North cannot have the presidency, the flag bearer, and also have the national chairman. And the national chairman is from the same zone with the deputy chairman.
The suspended Accountant General of the Federation, Ahmed Idris, has been released on bail by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission. EFCC spokesperson Wilson Wujarian confirmed the development. Ahmed Idris was arrested on May 16th over the 80 billion naira fraud after failing to honor the Commission's invitation to respond to issues connected to the fraudulent act, the EFCC said. The Universal Basic Education Commission has commenced the process of ensuring full implementation of the e-learning programs in basic education across the country. According to a statement by the UBEC head of public relations, David Akwe, in Abuja, the development is as a result of the challenges occasioned in the subsector by the COVID-19 pandemic lockdown and closure of schools. UBEC stated that the experts at the workshop would identify courses required for stakeholders of e-learning and smart school project, noting that the commission has assembled a team of experts in Kano State for a 5-day workshop for the development of course outline and course content for the training of education managers. Registrar of the Teachers Registration Council of Nigeria, Professor Josiah Ajiboye, has been elected as the president of the Africa Federation of Teaching Regulatory Authorities. Professor Ajiboye took over from Mr. Mahmoud Sele, who has been in the leadership saddle for 5 years at the end of 11th Roundtable Conference in Accra, Ghana. Professor Ajiboye was also honored with a fellowship award and life membership of the AFTRA at the conference, given his long-standing contribution to the teaching profession. And for some foreign news now, global oil producers have agreed to increase supply in an attempt to offset partially falls in Russia output. And Russia has now warned the European consumers will be the first to suffer after Brussels introduced a partial embargo on Russian oil. The Russian president added that there may be a big deficit of oil products in the European Union. The European Union has agreed to block most Russian oil imports by the end of 2022. The ban will affect oil that arrives by sea, around 2/3 of imports, but not pipeline oil, following oppositions from Hungary. Ukraine would consider switching off its nuclear plant, which now lies in Russia-occupied territory of Kiev. The facility in southeast Ukraine is Europe's largest nuclear power plant. Officials are quoted as saying that as long as the control commands are executed and the site maintains the regime, it would not be stopped. For some sports stories now, basketball's governing body confirmed today that Nigeria has withdrawn its team from the Women's World Cup and warned of a potential disciplinary measures against the country because of government's interference. The Nigerian government had announced last month that it was withdrawing all its basketball teams from international competition for 2 years, while it completely restructures the sport. The Sport Ministry said the Nigerian Basketball Federation will be dissolved, and the decision to withdraw from international competition was approved by Nigeria's President Muhammad Buhari. Anthony Rudiger has completed his move to Real Madrid from Chelsea on a free transfer, signing a 4-year deal. The German international, who is 29 years, has joined the new Spanish and European champions after rejecting Chelsea's attempt to extend his contract. Rudiger's move to Chelsea for an initial fee of £29 million from Roma in 2017. He made 203 appearances and scored 12 goals for the Blues, winning the FA Cup, Champions League, Europa League, UEFA Super Cup, and World Club Cup. Chelsea described Rudiger as one of the most passionate characters to represent the club in recent memory. Before we end the news, a recap of the highlights. The Nigerian military has inflicted fatal blow on terrorists in Northeast. PDP presidential flag bearer Atiku Abubakar has called for unity ahead of 2023 elections. Global oil producers have moved to outwit Russia over gas production. Basketball World Governing Body has threatened sanctions against Nigeria. And that's the Citizen FM news at 7. I am Lawrence Omoiti. To listen to us online, please visit www.citizenfm.ng. Follow us on social media, Facebook at CitizenFM 937, on Instagram at CitizenFM 937, on Twitter at CitizenFM_937.
This is our journey. We've had our finest moments and our darkest hours. Yet we pull ourselves back from the brink every time. We are a resilient people. We are Nigeria. And when we talk, we share our views on Talk Radio 93.7, Citizen FM. A people united will never be defeated.
Of our dreams.